What up, YouTube? Haven't made a video in a long time, but I just thought I'd make a quick video because I have a leak in my tank and the tank drains overnight. So it's a headache when you turn your system on and your tank's at 0 PSI, which it shouldn't be. Should be able to hold pressure all night. I'm just gonna spray it down because I just recently put a new tank. So I'm gonna spray it down real quick and see where the leak is coming from. And by the way, this is currently my setup. Don't have a setup. I just have the speaker and stuff because I needed room right here for baby stuff. So I ended up throwing everything underneath here. So the compressor's in the back, the tank right here in the front, and then the manifold here. It ain't pretty, but it gets the job done. Just keeps all the stuff out of the way to have as much room as possible. But I'm gonna pull all this stuff out and get to it. All right, so here's a better look. Like I said, ain't nothing pretty, but just gets everything out of the way. It fits perfect down there. The compressors don't really make too much noise, so when I start up the system, the compressors start running, I can't really hear it no more because all the carpet and stuff that sits over it, it kind of like deadens it. But anyways, so obviously the tank's leaking. So what you want to do is get yourself some nice soapy water, leave air in the tank. You don't have to fill it up all the way, but just so there's pressure in there. And then you're just gonna want to spray around your fittings. And obviously with the soapy water, you're gonna see bubbles. And there's my leak. And I had a feeling that it was gonna be here because, yeah, I got lazy and I don't want to put no Teflon on here on the check valve. So I had a feeling it was gonna be from there. So now what I'm gonna do is, oh yeah, want to make sure you turn off your system if you're gonna drain your tank. But drain your tank. Also, another thing I want to mention about if you have a leak in your tank is to check your compressors. So the intake side of your compressors, unscrew the filter, which is this thing right here. Unscrew that, and then you're gonna want to put your thumb or a finger or something like barely over the hole and create like a little hole, and then spray it and see if it bubbles. And then that means that your check valve on the compressor hose is failing. So sometimes you can spray all your fittings down and you don't find your leak, but sometimes it leaks through. So the check valve fails, goes through the compressor and leaks out the air out of the intake port. So that's another good tip to know. But yeah, you should be able to find it. Shouldn't be too bad. But I found mine pretty quick because I kind of already knew what was going on and what I did wrong and got lazy. But I'm gonna just unscrew this, throw some Teflon and some blue Loctite on there, seal it up, do a leak test again, spray everything back down, make sure everything's good. So obviously I'm running it again, letting the tank fill all the way up. It's super loud right now because, like I said, I took out the mats, but it quiets it down a lot when the floor mat and everything is back there. But as you can see, need some more water first of all. But no more leaks. Just a little bit of Teflon, a little bit of the blue thread lock from Harbor Freight. Recommend that. Some Teflon. And yeah, I don't mind that. It's not bolted down all the way. Write it down. Now, my PSI is at 150. I leave it at 150. So I'm gonna let it sit overnight and wake up in the morning, turn it on, and see if it's not leaking anywhere else. I mean, I sprayed everywhere besides underneath, but that fitting underneath should be fine. So I'm almost positive it was there because that was a pretty big leak, and that's pretty much how much it was leaking, like my guesstimation, I guess. So anyways, hopefully this video helped you out, because it's a pain in the butt to try to find air leaks, especially in air ride, and especially if you have a little leak. So if your tank's leaking 5 psi an hour, 10 psi an hour, like it's a little bit harder to find that, or even 10 psi overnight. That's almost going to be impossible to find. But I mean, if you're anal about that stuff, you can redo all of your fittings, all of your Teflon, redo everything, but it's really not that big of a deal. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it helped out a little bit if those are trying to find air leaks or how to do it, just some pointers and whatnot. But anyways, peace out.